Picture this: a modestly furnished mortgage office in Los Angeles. Christine Brown, dressed in business attire, sits behind a polished desk, processing paperwork, her life largely predictable. Then enters an old woman, shriek, gaunt, desperate, her eyes wild with a dark plea. What happens next in Drag Me to Hell, 2009, isn't just cruelty. It's visceral, it's terrifying, and it peels back layers you didn't know existed in human desperation. Imagine you're Christine for a moment. You believe you're doing the right thing, your bosses expect it. But moral certainty is a fragile veneer. The old woman, Mrs. Ganush, begs, "Extend my mortgage for just 3 months." That's all. Christine, trying to climb a career ladder, believes following the rules matters more than sympathy. She refuses. Mrs. Ganush rises, her pleading becomes rage. Her once frail body convulses. She lunges forward, fingers clawing, screeching with a voice that sounds like something buried deep inside a grave. And then she attacks Christine with ferocity, slamming her into the wall. Clothes torn, screams tearing through the office air. It's not just the physical violence that shocks, it's the sound, the crack of furniture, the staccato rhythm of her nails dragging across skin, Christine's breath gone in gasps. The lighting shifts, harsh fluorescent glare suddenly turning sinister. Camera angles tilt, strobe-like flickers, close-ups on Christine's wide, terrified eyes. You feel every inch of her panic, the grinding realization that she underestimated something she should never have ignored. It's like witnessing a demon ripping through your reality, masquerading as an old woman. This moment changes everything. It isn't Halloween jump scare territory. No hidden monster in the closet. The monster is Mrs. Ganush, flesh and bone, but touched by something unholy. And when Christine watches, frozen, as Mrs. Ganush curses her, places a ghastly, mystical curse that will follow her for 3 days, you feel the seed planted in darkness. You sense the movie's promise: Christine's life, her very soul, is about to be dragged to hell. Sam Raimi, the director, doesn't waste a moment. From that violent encounter, he unfolds layers: guilt, the supernatural, the inescapable consequences of a single cruel act. Because as viewers we know, this isn't just about payback. It's about the price of moral cowardice, of choosing policy over compassion when the human being begging in front of you is drowning. Christine's attack isn't merely physical, it's psychological. Bruises, both visible and invisible, will flower. She lies in bed at night, hearing phantom footsteps, her hand twinging with the memory of nails. Mrs. Ganush's curse manifests in ghastly ways: a disfigured voice calling her name at odd hours, shadows slithering across the walls, spiders with human teeth crawling in moonlight. Raimi toys with her, and with us, questioning whether Christine deserves this, whether kindness would have saved her, whether mercy is stronger than fear. Because once the curse begins, everything turns strange. A car won't start. A doll disappears from the kitchen. Loved ones avoid her. She fights back, researching old occult texts, seeking help, sacrificially giving up parts of her physical safety. All because that one moment, that one decision, lit a fire she can't extinguish. Behind the horror, there's technique. Practical effects that gore isn't just CGI smears. Faces contorting, saliva flecked with menace, hands turning misshapen in unnatural ways. Raimi uses tight framing so Christine seems small, trapped, long, skewed shots so the world tilts when the curse takes hold. Lighting becomes character. Candlelit shadows, harsh moonlight through blinds, hallways half dead in blackness. Sound becomes a weapon: creaks, voice distortions, knots of music that tighten in your chest. And the emotion, it's heartbreak. You want Christine to reach out, to confess her guilt, to do something right, but fear ties her tongue. You feel her isolation, friends don't believe her, people laugh. She's ashamed. She regrets, but regret doesn't undo what's done. And you watch, terrified for her, helpless in the audience. Because horror works best when it reflects something real. Regret for a moment we didn't show kindness, something we can't take back. Then the violence escalates. Mrs. Ganush returns in dreams, in reflections, in glitches of reality. The cursed forces drag Christine into desolation. She catches glimpses of something dragging at her leg under the bed, windows smash themselves, granules of earth fall from faucet sinks. And in all this, the original violent attack remains the core. Without it, none of this, no curse, no fear, no guilt. That moment is science, motion, reaction, consequence. The old lady attacking Christine is also symbolic. It's not just a character, it's a mirror to every shadow we hide inside. Barnacles of cruelty, small unkindnesses, the policy over people. How often do we refuse help because rules matter more than humanity? And though none of us likely hurl someone against a wall, we share the darkness of refusing when someone is begging. Christine fights. She cries. She bargains. She even tries to call upon occultists. She seeks forgiveness. But Mrs. Ganush's curse resists absolution. It's not satisfied with apologies, it needs something deeper. It infects Christine's body, mind, soul. As the deadline, 3 days, bleeds toward midnight, the tension ratchets. You feel your pulse in your ears. Raimi keeps pushing. No respite, no complacency. And here's where the horror becomes tragedy. Because Christine realizes too late that extension, mercy, a tiny act of kindness, would have altered everything. The rage inside Mrs. Ganush wasn't just about her own desperation, it was about being treated like she didn't matter. Christine's refusal echoed that erasure. And now, as Christine is dragged, literally and metaphorically, into terror, she sees her own complicity. Visually, the film uses light and shadow like barbed wire. When Christine is safe, the world is bright. When the curse comes, the lighting sags. Faces are distorted by low angles. Mirrors refuse to reflect her properly. In her moments of hope, reflected light offers solace. In moments of despair, sharp, cold glows flicker from unseen sources. Costume and makeup amplify the grotesque. Bloodied skin, teeth elongated, eyes even more empty than the dark. And the sound, riffling wind inside walls, breath rasping, whispers rising like spiders across skin, is almost a separate character, a crawler at the windows. At its heart, the old lady violently attacks Christine, is more than a scene. It's a breaking point. The moment Christine's life crosses from normal into cursed. It's the spark that kickstarts the descent. Without this attack, Christine remains safe, with it, she becomes hunted. And we feel every moment of that transformation. But what about Mrs. Ganush? She's not just horror. She's pain. You glimpse her broken past. Her life outside policy and rejection. Her grief at being refused help. You sense too that she's both villain and victim, because curses don't sprout from empty soil, they grow in bitterness, in being dismissed. Raimi doesn't let us off easy. He forces us to see both sides, the attacker and attacked, the monster and the wounded. That tension is what makes us squirm, not knowing who to root for, not wanting Christine's suffering, but also not wanting Mrs. Ganush's anguish. Christine tries to reclaim her agency. She delves into religion, folklore, bargains with evil for protection, but each choice has cost. And the emotional core is guilt, shame, regret. The knowledge that once you refuse to extend help, once you choose policy over compassion, you open a door you can't close. As the clock ticks closer to the final night, the supernatural forces pile on, and you almost can't breathe for her. Every creak, every flicker, every whispered invocation feels like it might be the last straw. The curse, in its final assault, drags Christine out into liminal spaces, dark woods, rusted graveyards, the threshold between life and afterlife. The visuals become nightmare flesh, sounds become roar. And through all this, Christine knows, the only escape was the extension. The only safety was the moment she refused. And so when you watch this movie, when you relive the moment Mrs. Ganush attacks Christine, it's not just a scene, it's a seed. It forces you to ask, what have you refused? When have you seen someone begging, someone broken, and chosen policy, rules, indifference? Because horror here isn't monsters. Horror is us, and how small, how casual choices can ripple into hell.